Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie Podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining me, as always, is your co-host, Jim.
This week's episode brought to you by The Warriors. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Is that movie I need to see?
Yeah.
That's I know.
Cyrus's speech at the beginning. That's like the best part of the movie for me, is the whole "Can you dig it" speech.
I am hearing the stream.
It's not me.
It is not I. I'm not even near the stream.
Oh, God damn it. It might be me again.
Across the streams.
Oh, God. It is me.
God.
I keep doing that. I keep fucking doing that.
Can you mute it?
No, I just killed it. Sorry, folks. I always do that. What I do is I go to a page and then I set the name of the stream and then I forget that the tab is still up when I start the stream. I do this every goddamn time. I'm such a non-professional. I apologize. No, I don't apologize. I fucked up. So
it's Unprofessional Tuesday.
It is totally unprofessional.
It's like Taco Tuesday, but less professional.
So we have a guest this week, my friends, joining us from the Bay Area to talk about his currently kickstarting game, Wayward Terran Frontier, Zero Falls, is George Hultgren. Did I say that right again?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Hi, George. How you doing?
You know, we'd have somebody named Smith on the show, and Brian would be like, "Did I say that right?" He's like that on the weekly. I don't even know.
I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with names and pronunciation and English and language and speaking. And I'm terrible with so many things.
I think my last name has two pronunciations, and I've heard both of them about 50-50. And
so wait, Hultgren. What's the other one? Hultgren?
I hear Hutgren or various. There's like one vowel that you can change.
Does someone like put an umlaut or whatever above the U, so it's Hultgren?
It's Hultgren.
It's like a chair at IKEA all of a sudden. The Hultgren.
He's a strapping, fine German lad.
That is a pretty German name.
You can't go more German than that.
Oh, you could.
Swedish.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I see how it is. Sweden. Boy, we could talk about Sweden.
Goddamn Swedes. No, I'm kidding. I love.
Did you see in the news that Sweden is actually talking about putting a gender rating on games now? Seriously.
Really?
Totally. Yes.
No, that's news to me.
It's basically like rated M for misogyny or something. So, yeah, I didn't want to go with the rated R joke because But anyway, Sweden, they're doing it for real. I don't know if it's in reaction to that which shall not be named on the show, but they're totally doing it.
Well, that's up to them, man.
Yeah, well, they've done some interesting stuff around gaming. Like I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but they have like Swedish rules, right? There's like a whole different culture going on in Sweden.
Really?
I love them. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they kind of have a unique rule set for a lot of things.
Well, do you frequently go to Sweden, George? Have you been there?
No. I'm from Sweden on my father's side, but I'm a mutt.
Yeah. All right, well, we're here to talk about your game, Wayward Terran Frontier, Zero Falls, which, interestingly enough, is your second Kickstarted game. This is actually how would you say, not pared down, because that doesn't sound good, but like more focused version.
I like to call it a reboot. But
okay, no, that's fair. A reboot of your original Kickstarter, Wayward Terran Frontier, that you did. Was that earlier this year?
Actually, yes, but now we're at the very end of the year, and that was at the very beginning of the year. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think it ended late January. I could bring it up, but it was January something that it ended exactly.
Yeah, I remember because I backed it. Like I backed this one because I put my money where my mouth is. But go ahead.
But the Wayward Terran Frontier, it's sort of like a frontiersman game, right? Where you die from dysentery.
I may have to actually put dysentery into it. That might be.
It'll be space dysentery. Just a random thing, like 1 in 100 chance every game.
You died trying to
die for no reason.
You died trying to cross the space river.
That's right.
Well, it did. I will admit to pandering a bit to the sort of the space cowboy theme. It's supposed to be a frontier. It's supposed to be sort of space cowboy lifestyle, like
Yeah, twanging guitars.
Actually, yes, very much.
Because we had some twangy guitars on here a week ago. So
we don't have any twangy guitars in the test build that you're playing with right now, but it was in the first trailer. Was slide guitar and.
Yes.
And there's not a thing.
Flashbacks, man. I'm back in Rebel Galaxy suddenly.
There's not a thing wrong with twangy guitar.
I know,
so
right?
let's talk about the game real quick. I'm playing it on the stream. I've been playing it for an hour-ish or so. And it's kind of fascinating because you start on this asteroidy space station with all these different rooms. You can just walk around in them. Just there's a map, and there's logistics base, and there's a research thing, which we can't do anything with right now, but I'm sure that's implemented later. And there's a cargo bay, and there are gunnery stations. Even though this thing doesn't have any guns, I guess you can add guns later. And then there's an airlock.
It's kind of like there's a little bit of an FTL there, to the point where I'm wondering why Brian's not hyperventilating yet.
because this guy has
FTL just makes him batshit, right? So
because this guy has no name. That's why he has no name,
okay.
And I don't know him.
The worst thing you can do is actually name your XCOM guys after your friends.
I'm sure. That's why I haven't played XCOM. That's why I haven't played XCOM. So yeah, the game is procedurally generated, and what I love about it, I haven't been able to do this yet. Can you board other ships in the test build?
Go up. So don't go out that airlock. Go to the left and then go up the hall.
Hang on. I wanted to show people what could happen because it's funny. So the station has 4 airlocks, and look, there's an airlock. Ooh, I can open it, and it just opens. And oh, look, I just walked out and died because the game lets me do that. I gotta say, I love that. I do. I love that could just happen. I do adore that. But no, there's more of this station. So basically, you walk around and you see an airlock with another thingy attached to the airlock. That's a ship. Yeah. So now I'm going to go in the ship. Ooh. So
do you always start in the station? That's like.
Yeah. So the station that you're seeing right now is kind of placeholder, but the idea is that it's going to be this sort of hub where you always respawn there if you die horribly. But and a lot of the activities kind of center around there, and that's where you create your ships with the resources.
I'm having a base building twitch, like looking at that. Like I want to tunnel in that rock and build some rooms.
You can. I mean, there's a mining laser if you want to go grab it in one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find this, and we're gonna try. I seem to have a gun of some type.
Yes. The guns are kind of procedural as well. They shoot little, it chooses the color of the bullets randomly, and it gives you a bunch of random stats that are sort of weighted based on the quality of the gun. So, I think you have a green shotgun?
Yeah, it looks like. Okay, nice. So now I equipped a mining laser. Let's see if I can dig something. Okay, I guess.
Can you dig it?
I guess. I guess I can't dig through a wall, or can I? Can I dig through a wall?
No, you can't. You got to go to some dirt. I think. Yeah, that door will. I'm seeing everything is at a slight delay. So
yeah. That is the problem. That is the
problem. I want this game to be Space Dwarf Fortress.
So I was a huge Dwarf Fortress fan before making this game, but I only found out about FTL after making it. Hey, you wanna mine something? Let's. You should take the ship out and go dig a hole in an asteroid somewhere. That's one of the.
Let's do that. Let me do that. I love how the doors open and close.
So what's that random hunk of machinery that's embedded in the rock? Is that just
that is a
that's just flavor?
No, that's a beam emitter. There's no beam for it to control at the moment. It's just sort of an unused emitter. But so one of the things you can do at your station is you can repair the ships, and we have this sort of. You're playing it at 480p?
I'm playing it at 1920 by 1080.
Oh.
Yeah, but it downscales for the thing.
Oh, the downscaling is interesting. Yeah, push E.
E.
Hover over that asteroid that's not your home base and just push E.
Oh, look at that! What did I just launched something?
Oh, and also if you look inside your ship, I think that room. So you'll see what you've just launched, the big drill-looking thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, go ahead and dock with it.
How do you toggle between in and out of the ship view?
Push space.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how do
Look
I?
at that. You put a thing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so what? So is that something you can now dock with?
Yeah. So push shift.
I'm pushing shift.
Oh, there it goes.
And you got to kind of line them up, and then you'll get a option.
Here we go. Cool. I didn't know I could do that. All right, let's go in here.
This is actually the only game I've ever seen where you can actually launch something in an asteroid and then dock with it. That is unique.
Oh, I am drilling in an asteroid, and this asteroid is procedurally generated. And look, it's got like a tunnel in it that air should be escaping out of. That isn't. That's funny.
So sort of the lore behind the game of how do we explain sort of the simplified atmosphere system that we have is the life support devices. They just create air to fill the ship up, kind of like it does in FTL, right? Like,
Right.
Same mechanic. If the air is gone, it's red. And then life support creates more air. But since you can kind of have procedural hull breaches, what happens is when you have a hull breach, the air all gets sucked out, but then the life support modules sort of like use a force field to seal off the hole so that air doesn't continue sucking out and the ship slowly fills back up.
Oh.
Otherwise, you'd have to go in combat and seal the hull breaches, and that would just consume all your time.
You have like packs of goo.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, guys. Apparently, you can drill to the outside of the asteroid and just walk out of the asteroid and die. I love that. I love it. I love that you could do that. That is great.
Railing there or something.
It's like Star Wars. There are no railings anywhere. People just fall all the time.
The best
so
part
how
is,
do you know? Because there's the two space docks here. One of them's got your ship and the other one doesn't, but they look the same to me. So how do you know which one you can walk out and not instantly die?
Oh, there's a little red icon that indicates something's docked over there. I mean, like you can see the other airlock connected. So you're gonna have to spawn a ship now.
Which is funny because my other ship is still over there.
Yeah. In fact, you might have to blow it up to get it off of that airlock if you want to go back in that asteroid.
Okay, sure, why not? Yeah, go do it. All right, there we go. And then, all right. So yeah, what I love about this, the whole idea that these interiors and the exteriors are all procedurally generated. So like you can dock with a ship and board it, and that's a procedurally generated interior that I could run around and board and kill. So it's like worlds within worlds. It's like layers of an onion, and I love that. I love.
So how many players can we get in here?
But it's single player. That was the refocusing, or like that was the whole. So in the last Kickstarter, we wanted it to be multiplayer. It was me at the time. I was developing the game to be multiplayer so that you could play this cooperatively, and the idea was that you'd fly the ship sort of as a team and go on adventures as a team. But I got a lot of feedback from people saying, hey, we would prefer to just have a single player game, and for me it was like, well, it's gonna be a single player game. It shouldn't make a lot of difference.
Yeah, I mean, if there was netcode there that I could just bring a friend. I don't want an MMO, right?
Yeah,
but if I could co-op it with somebody, I'm cool.
Exactly.
But I would hate to build all this stuff and then not be able to show it to anybody. What have you done?
Did you just shoot I think you shot the drill bore at a ship.
He did.
Is that what I did?
That should actually
whoops.
be a valid tactic, right? Like you can board the enemy by shooting a drill bore into them.
Yes, it probably should be. I'll look into making it happen, but I'm almost entirely certain the code as it is right now expects it to be an asteroid, and so it's probably just crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
funny.
game just absolutely crashed. It was hilarious. That was really gutted because I was shooting it and I'm like, what happens if I hit this E button again? And can I drill through the ship? No, apparently not.
The fatal exception. So, so the deal with the single player thing, I mean, I can understand the refocus, right? And
Yeah.
probably the majority of your sales would probably be single player anyway, right? I'm just looking at the Terraria aspect of it, right? Because like Terraria took off. And,
Yeah.
So if we could get Terraria in space, man, that's I'm in.
Well,
So,
I kind of wanted Terraria in space from the beginning, and the netcode's still sort of in there. Like, we're going back to multiplayer someday. Like, that's happening.
So once you get it out there, you can say, hey, we're gonna patch this in. It's not impossible to stick back in, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're developing right now of the mindset that this game is going to be single player, and that allows us to do some crazy things that would be pretty hard in multiplayer. It's definitely speeding up our development cycle a lot. We'd like to add multiplayer, and really someday, if there's if we get the game to a point where we feel it's finished, that's one of the first things I'd like to add on to it. But it's early enough in the development that that's not something I want to promise on a Kickstarter. Because,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be like the whole Elite thing. We're going to promise single player, and then, oh, no, we're not. That was sad.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't understand why everybody's so outraged about it. Really.
Because apparently
the
on their
offline mode was online any damn way.
No, apparently on their Kickstarter they did mention a specifically offline mode.
Oh,
And
really? Like you don't even need internet for this kind of offline.
Yeah.
Well, see, the whole time that we've been playing it, you can play alone, but you have to play connected.
Right.
And I mean, it's DRM, right? So,
Well,
and not only that, every time things change. Oh, I like how the little lights come on whenever you're trying to line up to dock. That's a nice feature.
Yeah, that is nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I don't hold that against them, right? Because if I don't want to be on there with a bunch of griefers and whatever, then fine, right? But I don't feel that I'm going to be on a desert island anytime soon with no internet but a joystick and a laptop, and I'm going to play that.
Right. But there are people who have bandwidth caps, and there are people who have spotty connections, and they don't want to be limited to playing solely online, and I get that.
I'm all about limiting people. I think people need limits. So.
Well, I'm definitely going for the design of you log in to download it, and then it's just on your computer. I mean, it runs in a folder. There isn't even any DRM in it. You can copy the folder and move it from computer to computer, and it's just gonna stay that way. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
Honestly, I prefer that because it's like I buy stuff on Steam, and then I want my wife to try it, and I can share it to her. But then I can't play anything while she's doing because of the way the sharing works, which is unfortunate. But and of course when you marry a gamer girl, the expense of your hobby doubles overnight. It's shocking how that happens.
Fascinating.
Just caution to everyone out there that thinks that that's the dream. It's like it's an expensive dream. So.
If you hold down the left mouse button, your ship will kind of turn towards the cursor, and while you're holding it down, you can use the A and D keys to strafe left and right a little bit. It completely depends on the thrusters that are in your ship.
I see.
But
so do you build these ships as well? Like you go to a grid and start snapping down parts?
Yeah, in fact, we can play with the ship editor. It's part of this. It's built into this game. And I was gonna send you a zip file with a bunch of like sort of example ships. But we could just build one from scratch. I mean, you can see all of these things that you see when you see the interior of the ship they're just modules, and really a ship is just the sum of its modules.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, clear all. Excellent. So I'm gonna design a little ship then, because no, we don't want this one.
What ship? Did you just choose the biggest possible ship?
I chose a very large ship accidentally. That was not my plan.
Oh wow. Okay,
That-
so you get like a general shape of ship,
Go to
and then you put
select
the
profile.
things inside of it.
Yeah. Well,
So I
and
can't make like a giant space wiener and
No,
put
you-
thrusters on the back.
You absolutely can make a giant space wiener, and that's your prerogative, and I can show you how. But the ships. So you saw. Oh, I guess we didn't really show how ships break
Ooh,
into
it's the
pieces.
HMS Lydia. That's my house, Carl.
It's also
Have you
it's
seen Lydia?
it was also the first ship. It was also the first ship from the Horatio Hornblower novels, which is why I always choose it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm weird like that. There we go. I'm trying to pick a hallway.
I just
Oh,
know
Hall-
Lydia from Skyrim.
Go to walls.
Got it. Okay, now we want a door. Anyway, how do we add a door? Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. Cool. This is pretty nifty, man. I like how I don't have to build everything. Or do I?
So do you have to put like you need engines and you need a reactor, and then do you have to run power conduits to stuff and that or things won't be powered or what?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in fact, the ship designer is kind of engineering intensive. The single player game is you're gonna get the ship designer like on your station, but it'll be something you'll unlock later. We're not trying to force people to. I mean, you almost need an engineering degree to use this thing. This is more like our map making tool, like our internal tool within the team for making ships and stations and dungeons and whatever.
Wait, dungeons?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
You have space dragons?
not yet, but
All right, get on it.
But the idea is, yeah, I mean, it's basically, it's an exploration RPG. So you're going to be flying through space. You're going to see like a giant crystal fortress or something, and you'd be like, okay, I want to go inside that. And you dock with it and you explore the inside. There'll be monsters and there'll be treasure at the bottom or whatever. Maybe in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
Right. So what all does he need for this beast?
So put some engines at the back, get a reactor in there wherever it'll fit. Right click to delete things if it's in the way, but and then we're gonna need to run some conduits to things. Pretty much.
Yeah, I love conduits.
Yeah, conduits are the best. It's actually, so we intend to like design all the ships, but you can, you can't even use the console without, so yeah, your ship basically does nothing. Okay, wait, so go to the designer and the second item, if you scroll down one, that little, back to modules tab, and
I see what's happening. I need life support. Okay. I need life support. And then I guess navigation thingy-majiggy. Sure.
need all the parts.
All the parts belong to me. There are a lot
This
of
kind of
parts.
makes me wish that I could design my own ship in FTL.
That thing. The navigation selector. Put it next to your console, your bridge.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I already put one down. Nowhere near, but okay, I'll put one there. And then I'll remove that one. Okay. Cool. But now things need power. So I need to power things, which I guess is what conduits are for.
Yep.
So conduit.
So that's basically
Conduit.
the conduits. You could just kind of click and drag.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Conduit.
So,
Like,
if this is going to be sort of a like find things,
Ugh.
explore them, that kind of
Ugh.
deal, what kind of opposition do you have out there? Is it like
It's going to be pretty brutal, to be honest, because we're creating factions, and the factions sort of have, they just sort of go about their business. They send ships on patrols, and there's this whole story of why all the various factions are in this area, in this sector of space. And so you've got one faction, which is like this elite paramilitary organization, which is the Shavala, which is, maybe you saw in the trailer, the big red ships with the beam weapons. And those guys are kind of up on the opposite side of the map from where you start, and they're really nasty. And then kind of all around the map is this other faction, which is the SSC, which is the Seven Stars Coalition. And they're kind of just a mercenary organization that's mostly commercial. They're just kind of in the system to make money. You'll kind of see them all around the place. They'll send little patrols that are sort of easy to blow up. And then there's space pirates, and there's other traders, and there's just all sorts of NPCs going about their business. And some of them will be a lot harder to kill than others, but pretty much anything that you destroy, or like you can capture any ship and then reverse engineer that ship. If you board the ships, you'll find they have like design blueprints for building new guns and stuff.
right.
So, yeah, it's kind of just, it's a big galaxy full of mean things that want to blow you up, and
Which is nifty.
yeah.
I like that, especially since I just built a ship that can only go straight.
Yup.
it's like Star Trekking across
Watch.
the universe?
It really
Only
is.
going forward because we can't find reverse.
I can only go straight. That's pretty goddamn funny. So
Are you
now,
familiar with the song? The
yeah,
Star Trekking song.
me.
That's how the lyrics go. Star Trekking across the universe, only going forward because we
Dude,
can't find reverse.
Can I tell you a story?
No,
Okay, I won't tell
but
you.
you're
a story.
gonna anyway. So go ahead.
No, I don't have to.
Oh no, we got to hear it now.
Out
with it.
I don't want. Oh god damn it. My second Star Trek convention ever was George Takei, and I got to meet him. And the only thing I had that could be signed was a vinyl copy of Star Trekking. So that's what I had him sign. And the best thing was, he's like, "Oh, I know this song," and then he starts singing the song.
And you were all like, "Oh my!"
No, I was 11.
Oh, this is way before the "Oh my." All right.
Yeah, well, I was also very young and very starstruck, so I had no idea what was going on. But yeah, so that was fun. Oh, how am I supposed to get that over there? Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. So the ship designer, and I don't know if I mentioned this, George, but I am terrible at building ships. I'm absolutely awful at it. I've actually started a whole new series on the site called Brian Break Shit, because I am terrible at building shit. Started with Kerbal Space Program, which is just unrelenting. Okay, so now, oh look, I can turn. So yeah, that was not hard, folks. Adding thrusters, all you need to do is put them in a place where you can turn left or right, and then put power to them. And look, I've got a ship that can go. Oh yeah. Now let me ask you something. When you zoom out, and I love that you can just zoom out on your sector like smooth as silk. I love that. But when you zoom out, you become a red icon, right?
Yeah.
Like a red wedge. But everybody else is red.
Yeah. It's because it just puts red icons over ships.
Oh.
But
okay.
the other aspect to that is that, I mean, the ships aren't really like discrete entities. I mean, here. Well, hold your mouse slightly below your ship and push insert, and just kind of hold insert until adventure happens.
What the hell?
That's just money right there. Hold insert until adventure happens.
What just happened? All right, I gotta do that again, but closer. Hang on a second. Oh, there we go. Crash again. She crashed again. Sorry. Sorry,
It
folks.
crashed.
Yes, it did.
Oh, that's an adventure. So what's it supposed to actually do whenever he does that?
Well, that's spawning
So,
it's spawning debug bullets. So you're basically spawning bullets that are shooting your shit. I guess the point I was making is that the game doesn't the game doesn't treat ships as like a special entity. So in a lot of games, you would see yourself as blue and every other ship is red because your ship is a special object that there's only one of them in the universe. And all of the enemies are a completely different type of object with different sorts of abilities, and the game knows exactly which is which.
Okay, but I want my ship to be a beautiful, unique snowflake.
So, in Wayward Terran Frontier, you have this problem like, what if you have a crew, and the crew is your faction, and they're on a ship? Is that your ship, or is it someone else's ship? And what if there's crews from multiple factions on a ship, and they're fighting each other? Like, who owns it? So
this is pretty funny, dude.
So what about this? If I'm screwing around in an asteroid and some bad dudes show up, can they just like hijack my ship and run off with it?
they absolutely could. The AI isn't smart enough to do that at the moment, but I want them to be.
That's pretty awesome.
So it needs to be like GTA in space. So I can like just pull over in a little shuttle and like grab the pilot and throw him out in space.
Well, in the sense that the other bad guy, the other characters in GTA will never really steal a car from you. It kind of already is like GTA in space.
That's pretty
Point
awesome.
taken.
All right, now I need to add power to the guns. Ooh, fun times. I just added guns for no reason. No reason at all. Just felt like it. That insert thing is funny, by the way. It's just damn funny.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of other debugging commands too, actually. Next time you'll have to push, I think...
So is this an engine that you have cooked up yourself, or are you
Yes.
leveraging something?
No, this is built on XNA. It's,
Oh.
it's from scratch, basically. Nothing,
So
I mean...
How did you choose XNA? Were you thinking like Xbox stuff back
It's what I knew at the time. It's easy. I like the C#. Really, actually, XNA is a pretty nice framework. And if you're doing 2D stuff like what I'm doing, it's not under development anymore. Like, Microsoft's not going to add on to it, but...
Yeah. Well, have they just completely switched over to RT now? And that's the deal, is it's all runtime now?
Well, there was a huge sort of shift of interest, and I blame the iPad. That's what I blame. I think that basically they were doing the whole Xbox cross-platform thing with .NET and XNA, and it's going to be great. And then the iPad came out, and they're like, "Oh man, we need a tablet and an app store," and so they just forgot about XNA, and they forgot about some of the .NET stuff, and just moved on. It was, we're doing other things now.
Yeah, I'm cradling my Surface 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, some good stuff
So-
came from it, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, it's an excellent piece of hardware, and I think when the OS catches up to the hardware, we'll be all right. But it's
Yeah.
what it is. But yeah, their store is kind of putrid, unfortunately.
That's what I've heard.
And the reason why, what I found out, I was talking to a guy that was kind of close to that, and he said that Microsoft actually had a thing. It was called like Keep the Money or something, and it was basically like they incentivized people to, instead of create quality apps, create a lot of apps, and that was kind of unfortunate because then you got a bunch of shovel stuff.
Yep, like I remember there was like 16 different versions of VLC Media Player installer helper apps that were for
Yes.
paid.
What?
Yeah,
it was sick, dude. And any app store, when you go to it and you search for something that's popular like that, I mean, it's Flappy Bird syndrome, right? It's like
Yeah.
there's one thing that's the real thing, and then there's 1,000 things that masquerade as it, but it's really something else, right?
Yeah.
But the Microsoft Store, it was just so prominent because that's all that was there. It's like the Android Store, it's there, but there's stuff for them to feature that's like quality, right? But I don't know, it's kind of catching up. But I think what's going to really drive it is in Windows 10. I don't know if you've seen it, but you can actually run the phone apps on the desktop like a widget.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah.
So at that point, the phone and the desktop are actually cross-platform.
I
So
really wanted to do that in Windows 9, Jim. Why can't I do that in Windows 9?
Well, Windows 9 is free. That's what they said, and then they went to 10. Because we were suckers.
I thought they went to 10 because if you put the number 9 in the name, like all of the legacy software breaks because it thinks you're
Yes.
running Windows 95.
Right. That's actually why. But I like to go with the conspiracy theory that they said, well, we're giving away Windows 9 for free, and they did. So.
Oh, God. So I see some red blips on my screen. Are those bad guys?
Yeah, they're pirates. They're just flying around. They're pretty
Okay.
far away.
How far away are they?
You'll get killed, Brian. Do it. It's your duty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, they're super far away.
You can do it. This ship's got engines on it.
Oh, my God, there's
They can
lots
even
of pirates. There's lots of pirates on the map. Now, I
They can
see...
be your friend.
No. Oh, wow. So they're different... Oh, my God, I zoom out, and this map is huge. It just keeps going out. Oh, my God.
It's actually sort of infinite. It's not really infinite. What it's meant to be is the size of an actual galaxy, which
Right.
is about as close to infinite as you need it to be, because
Oh my
you'll never see
God.
all of it.
I can imagine. So is there a jump drive or a warp drive that takes you in between these varied systems?
Part of what we're doing for the game is we're trying to restrict all of the content to sort of one or a couple solar systems. So we might give you a drive that lets it's one of those decisions of what tools do you give to the player versus like where do you want. So really, the idea is to keep them local, and so there probably won't be like an ultra mega drive. But I don't know. Sometimes I get a bit tipsy and I just make crazy things, and then I publish patches that maybe I shouldn't. So probably it'll happen.
I'm trying to zoom back in. There we go. So these little suns are solar systems, and so this solar system has a few planets. Wow. And that one has one planet, and that one has, I don't even know what that has. So can you fly to planets and land on them, or do
No.
something with them? Oh,
No. There will, however, be often like space stations and stuff around the planets for you to interact with.
that's cool.
I'd like to have planetary interaction, but you always hear people say, "I don't want to do it until I can do it right," and that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, planets are huge, entire worlds to themselves, and
That's true.
I don't want to have like a.
Space stations can be big enough considering you get to walk around them. Which
Yeah.
I just
If you look at the number of objects in a sector, there's plenty of stuff to explore. You're not going to run out of places to go, especially once we start adding cool places to go.
well, there's a pirate ship.
Uh-oh.
I'm heading for it.
No, you
So
aren't.
are you going to populate like
Oh, yeah, you are.
friendly space bases?
Yeah, there's
Or-
going to be one sort of neutral NPC base where people won't shoot at you, and we want people to be able to dock there and interact with like maybe some merchant NPCs, buy some stuff, that sort of thing.
Oh, that's cool. So a thought about that, because you can build your own bases, right? If you build your own base and then you put all the amenities in place, can you get NPCs that will actually move in?
So, as far as base building goes, we don't have that in yet. We're still toying around with it. You can definitely build, like the world, the engine itself supports building things, but the problem is sort of placing tiles, like changing the interior of a ship while you're physically in it is still. not the easiest thing to do. So if I can get over that hurdle, I really want people to be building their own bases, and then of course, yeah, once you're building your own bases, you got to let the AI interact with the base and have NPCs. But that doesn't necessarily mean we won't have NPCs that are going to hang out on your station, like the station that's already in the game.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, if you go somewhere and found a station or whatever, and then you put the essential things, right? Like you have to have a place to sleep and a place to eat and a place to poop, and the life support stuff and whatnot, and then people would maybe move in, and then you can be the mayor. So I mean, it just kind of going for that whole dwarf fortress vibe again, right?
Yeah, I do like to. So the story of the game universe is that you're kind of an outlaw. You're not supposed to be in this system, and that's why everyone. Well, the pirates obviously they just like shooting at people and taking their stuff, which I'm watching them do a very good job of it right now.
Oh well.
But pretty much all the main factions that have set up shop in this system are out to get you because you're really not supposed to be there. And so if you were to set up like a space hotel, you probably wouldn't get people coming to. I mean, according by the story of the game, you shouldn't be setting up a space hotel. Or at least it wouldn't make sense from that perspective.
But I want to set up a space hotel and have sexy adventures.
In fact, a space brothel, and then I can be like Star Pimp. And I think that's a whole nother game, though. That would be.
Oh, that's funny.
Sort of a business simulator.
Okay, I got killed. Actually, no, I didn't get killed. I tried to drill the pirate ship.
You know what? Hold on.
I gotta, fire
Like
missiles.
a villain.
Fire missiles. That's what I had. I fired a missile. Is that the only? Is that the?
Make this useful?
Is that the only type of missile I have? Is some kind of drilling thing?
No, there are ships with real missiles. We should get you into one before you break anything else.
I know, Brian. You can't take him anywhere, man. He just
Sorry.
comes in like a bull in a china shop, busting your code. And
All right, let's. Hello. Why can't I click you? Okay, come on, buddy. Let me click you. There we go. All right, so we're gonna go out again.
can you click it?
Can I click it? Let's see. Let's look at the design of
I'm gonna
this
just
ship.
keep Cyrus alive for the whole show.
So, what is this? Is this like a drill? What is this? Like a? It looks like there's a drill in the front of this ship.
Yeah, that's the thing that you keep firing into enemy ships.
You should call it the Palin.
Oh God. Please don't. So let's see. We have a cargo thing. Oh yeah, I was gonna go mine some more, so I wanted to get a mining laser. Let's go get a mining laser. There we go. Is there there should be a run command for these space stations. Though I just love this idea. I do love this. Because there are a few old school games that allowed you to walk around and fly ships, and then you'd land and you'd walk around stations. And one was Sentinel Worlds Volume 1 Future Magic, I believe it was called.
Yeah, but Sentinel Worlds, your characters were like dots.
Well, yeah, but you still, I mean, for the time, being able to fly around your ship and dock ships and then fly around, if I remember
but the
correctly.
space station was like four lines that were hallways.
Right, but I
Guys
mean,
were dots
it
that were on the.
right, you had to fill, your imagination had to fill in the pieces, but it still worked. Wait, where's my mining laser? Oh, I still got it. Okay. So, I love that game for that. I love that I was able to walk around and... Because, with Starflight, you can land on planets and drive your little ATV around. Which, that was cool. But, with Sentinel Worlds, you could get into some nasty shit. I love that game. And this game reminds me of that in some good ways. I love how you have a ready room over here for the captain. Little ready room cabin right here. It's very...
Well, the captain should always be ready.
Yeah, the captain should always be ready. Okay, let's try and dock at this asteroid again. Or let's find another asteroid. That asteroid bores me. Let's find another asteroid. Oh, there's one over there. There we go. Yep. So there are. It looked like when I was mounting a turret, there are laser guns, and I've got some machine guns here. What are like some of the gun types and missile types you can put on your ship?
So we have projectile weapons, which is what you're seeing on most of the sort of beginner ships in this version here, and then you have energy weapons. So those are the main two categories of turrets, and the main difference being energy weapons sort of draw energy like constantly in order to fire, and MO weapons, obviously MO, whatever. But there's going to be tons and tons of different types within that category. Later, if you want, why don't I send you that zip with some like sort of? Can I even send you a zip? I don't know if I can send you a zip. If I can send you some, if I can send you some ships to play with, I have a bunch of sample ships that have all the different weapon types.
Cool. Do it, man.
What's the easy? Would just drag it into Skype? Will that?
Or email it to me.
Okay, let me do that.
That's probably the best way.
That sounds like a better way to do it.
Yeah.
And
I gotta say though, I'm really enjoying even this very early version. I'm really enjoying even just flying around and flailing about with these space stations and this ship. I dig it.
And you know, it's productive for me too, because I've already found the part where it will allow you to hit a ship with that drill bore thing and what causes it to crash. By the time we're done with this stream, I will have uploaded a patch to fix it.
Well, I'll tell you another thing. I just tried to shoot a drill bit at another asteroid entirely, and it crashed again. That's what just happened. So I don't know if you can you have more than one of these drill bits out at once?
You probably shot at the same asteroid.
No,
yeah.
different asteroid. I'm gonna try it again.
Okay.
Yep, crashed.
Stop spamming the drill, man.
Sorry, man. It's the only missile I have. It's the only missile I've got, and I want to shoot missiles. Gah. I want to shoot things.
Mom, Brian's drilling again.
No, I'm not. Shut up. He's lying, Mom. Okay. He's not touching me, Mom.
Side of the station.
He's not touching me, Mom. He's on the other side of the airlock, Mom. He's not touching me. We're so fucking mature, aren't we?
I'm sorry I blew Brian out into space. Blew him out the airlock.
You go out there and get your brother. Mom! I have to suit up. I don't care. You go out there and get a jetpack on and get your brother. Oh, God. Oh, God. Can you imagine that? Like... The station. Remember the old station wagons used to have that back area that you'd sit in.
Oh my God! You need that's what we totally need. And the guys from last week, I'm going to send them an email and tell them specifically that I request wood paneling for the side of my ship because really it would fit.
Wood paneling.
I mean, they really they're in a position they could make that like a space redneck simulator.
We're gonna be making a golden space yacht.
A golden space yacht.
Yeah, it's something we promised as a backer reward that we didn't know if anyone was gonna want it or not, but 3 people wanted it, and so it's gonna be a big golden space yacht. It's gonna be completely useless, no guns or anything, and it's gonna have a swimming pool and a minibar.
Where do I put these ships, dude?
Okay, so open the zip, so you have the launcher, right? And there's a button on your launcher that says open game folder. It says game folder.
Yeah, I'm in the game folder. I see content.
Profiles.
I don't see profiles. Hang on. 0 files. Oh, profiles. There we go. Yeah. Oh, boo. Yeah.
And then just
drag
the
those
contents of the zip into there. Yeah.
Got it. Done. All right. Let's give this a shot. Where are we? I gotta say, I don't know if this is intentional, but I do love how the initials for the game are WTF. I do enjoy that immensely.
I couldn't think of a short name, and so I went with a long name that can at least be memorable, I guess.
It is memorable. All right, so let's see. Select profile. Whoa, look at all these things. Okay, what do we got? Pirate A, Pirate B, Emissary, Start Ship, Nat. Ooh, good. I'm gonna choose the Boron here. Let's see.
That might even have missiles.
Ooh, let's do a test. Oh man, look at all this stuff. Wow, this stuff is there's another person in here. What is happening? Who are you? Who are you? No, is that I don't know. Is that I'm shooting you. I'm shooting you. Oh, I'm shooting the other person and I'm killing him because he's not shooting back. And his little
It's your friend.
No, he's not. I have no friends.
was
Die, liar. Ooh. Okay.
He was put there to help you.
I don't need any fucking help. Okay. Okay, so this ship's got a very intricate inside to it. I like it. You got the map room, and you got all these engines, and these power converters, and these big old engines, and all these thrusters. Oh, wow, so you didn't even use thrusters as thrusters. You used small engines in the sides as thrusters.
Oh no, those are missile launchers. Why do you think I told you to pick that ship?
Oh, those are missile launchers. They look like those engines at the bottom. Oh, they're the thrusters. And then we got all these power thingies and all these other thingies. Okay, let's go. Ooh, this is pretty. How do I shoot a weapon? Ooh, E. No, that doesn't do nothing. Oh, wait.
It will now. It's missiles. You can actually shoot it at a ship.
I'm hitting E and it's not doing nothing. Do I have to target something? Like an asteroid or something? Oh, wait, it shot him. It shot him. I was just too zoomed out to see.
Okay. I just don't know what you're shooting at. Hey, you're in testing mode. Push the... Oh, what'll be fun? Push the F5 key.
F5. Oh, hello. Oh, gosh. Wait a minute. Oh, how do I shoot weapons?
Well, that's the thing that you've been doing. E, or right click, which... Oh, wait, no. The weapons are attached to the other turret, and you kill the guy with that turret.
Oh, what? So this guy's just going to shoot me because I killed the turret guy? Oh, man. That's pretty funny. Ramming speed. Ram. Oh, nope, didn't ram. Oh, that's no fun. How do you dock? I want to dock with this guy. Oh, there's no docking thing. Oh, well, whatever. Can I hit F5 again? Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, God. You shouldn't have given me that command, because that is funny. Oh, look, they're fighting each other now. And me.
Yeah, all of the function keys will spawn ships, and it'll allow you to keep spawning ships until there's so many of them that the game crashes because you pushed it too many times.
Oh, wow, you're right. I'm just spawning ships left and right. Oh, God. Wow, look at that. Ooh, that's a lot of ships shooting at me. And there are pieces missing from my ship. I love that. Yeah, they shot out a couple of engines, so now the what is that? The starboard side only has 2. That's pretty great. I'm gonna try another ship because I'm gonna try that ship again, and not kill that guy. So it's. I still can't shoot my guns. How do I shoot my guns?
So you have to use the other console, and that's kind of an artifact of not really an artifact of the multiplayer, but it was designed originally in multiplayer. The console is how you control a ship, because it allowed us to do multiplayer. It allowed to have one person firing the guns while another person was flying the ship. Which is why with the AI character you can just have him firing the guns. Or he can fly the ship while you fire the guns. But you have to use, there's an item in your inventory that looks like a little headset. You're going to have to equip it, and you're going to have to click on him and then click on the thing that you want him to control.
Oh, interesting. Okay, let me get out of that. So how do I get my inventory?
B.
B. Oh yeah, headset. And then I drag that onto him. I will do that right now.
Yep.
So I will drag that onto you. No, that's a gun. There we go. Drag that onto you. I can't put it on you. I don't know why I can't put it on you. So am I putting it on myself or am I putting it on this other guy?
Okay. Yeah, just right click it. So
Oh.
yeah, and then you're wearing it. And that sort of, so we've got this system where you see that slot in the bottom left for items is like whatever you have equipped, and left click just uses whatever is equipped, and then right click is like a context sensitive command for clicking on things, like a console where you can click on tiles to repair them. And so once you have the headset equipped, now you can left click to use it. So you can left click on him, you'll select him, you left click on the console, you'll order him to use the console. You left click to repair, and he'll go off and repair stuff.
Oh.
Left
I
click on
see.
it. Left click on an airlock, he'll walk over there and crash the game. Actually, I don't think he'll do that, but I have heard a report that there is something like that going on. That I'm still searching for it. But I mean, what are you gonna do? We're in the we're pre-funding, so I guess.
Well,
it's
that's
lucky we
fine.
get funded all.
This is pretty good for pre-funding. I'm enjoying this. And the guy is actually shooting the guns. The guy is shooting his heart out. Go, guy. Yeah, missile, missile, missile. Missile, missile. Where are the missiles? I'm shooting missiles, but I don't know where they're coming from.
They're coming from the tubes.
Oh. That's
Dude, they're internet missiles.
Pretty much.
They're coming from
internet
the
missiles.
tubes.
Whoa, hello. What is that thing? I don't know. It must die. I gotta say, combat is, even with these ships that are just kind of sitting there and shooting at me, this is tense and fun. And you know what makes it fun? Because this ship was manually put together, and now you're seeing it slowly chipped apart, and you're like, oh god! I spent so much time putting that together, you son of a bitch! And now you're just chipping away at it like a cavity. Ugh.
Yeah, they are the chocolate of space, really.
It actually feels painful. I dig it. I dig it. Okay, let's select
Can
another.
you dig it?
Oh my
See?
god.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You.
You're
I'll be in
welcome.
town all week. Yeah. So, can you save the ship designs? Are they automatically saved? Like
Yes.
you can just crap the ship right back out.
Yeah,
again?
so when you do like new profile and create one and then draw some modules and then save and exit, it's in that profiles directory. And actually I save it as, it's multiple layers, they're saved as images, you can go and edit them in an image editor, and you asked before if you could make a giant penis looking ship, and that's how you would do it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh god. Oh god.
I'm coming in at the $1,000 tier for that.
Oh
Dude,
no.
you got 3 people backing you at $1,000.
Yep.
That's pretty
Wow.
great.
And
That-
are they like family or what's going on here?
Yeah, at least one of them is a friend of mine.
Oh, okay, but the other 2 are like internet strangers.
People who like me.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those sort of niche games where you have either people who don't understand it or people who are casually interested but waiting for it to not be buggy, and then there's like that third tier of people that are like just insane, and I like those people the best.
They're like your space whales,
Yeah.
definitely. And
So on this ship,
Oh,
it's kind of our weapon testing platform. You have to push R to toggle through the different weapons on this ship because you have a lot of them.
Oh, and you can shoot them from the navigation console, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much built this ship because I wanted to have a platform for just testing every single type of gun, whether it's all the beams and the different turret types.
Oh, this is... Oh, I need to get closer. Now, I don't know if you guys could hear that on the stream, but when I left the navigation console and I was still under attack, you could hear it like you were inside the ship, like you're in a building being pounded upon by something.
oh, neat.
And orally, that sounded fantastic.
You gotta get the red alert sound in there, though.
We have a
Somehow.
klaxon. We do.
Oh, good.
The problem is that The problem is that it was like really, really noisy and irritating and going off all the time. So just for the sake of our own sanity, we have it disabled at the moment.
So, do the ships have shields, or are they just all armor?
No, they do have shields and shield generators. You paint shield pixels in the editor, so you can design kind of whatever shape of shields you want, and then when they.
Oh my god! So on my giant space penis, I can actually have a shield condom.
Yes.
$1,000 tier. Here I come.
I shouldn't encourage you.
Yeah, please don't encourage him. This is a family podcast, and no, it isn't. But yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but when I left the console, hang on, it's just you could hear it from the outside, and the nice thing is it sounds like the same sound effect, but hollow and distant. It's like really impressive.
So if I back this thing today, right? How long until I get to touch code? Is it going to be like right at the end of the Kickstarter? It's like here you go, everybody, alpha access, or is there going to be a while, or what?
Well, you can see what we have right now, and you can see that it's crashed a bunch of times, and so we don't want people to pay for it and then give them that, which is why it's going to be probably a month or 2 months after the Kickstarter where we sort of feel that it's ready to go and we start giving it to people. But, we're a lot farther along than we were, well, for instance, in the last Kickstarter. Like, it's that almost all the core mechanics are in there and working. You have a big persistent universe, you have factions moving around, you have it's a big Easter egg hunt where not many of the Easter eggs have been placed yet, and we're placing them all the time. Like, that's what we're doing now, is just adding content to it and removing bugs, and once enough of the bugs are gone, I want to just give it to people and sort of continuously add content. So yeah, I'm thinking
cool.
It's not going to be that.
Could this be one of those things where, like, you just continuously shove content into it and you never declare it actually done, right? Like, I mean, at some point it goes 1.0 and it's like, here it is, it's really for sale. But after that, is that kind of your vision? Like, you're going to continue to put content in, or DLC, or how? Because I mean, you're not going to do that for the rest of your life for free, obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wouldn't go like the DLC route, but I could see myself going sort of the Terraria route, which is it's been 1.0 for a while, but hey, we made some cool stuff, and I mean, okay, let's be honest. I built a spaceship engine from scratch. It was a huge investment ahead of time just to have an engine that supports content. Of course I want to put all sorts of crazy cool stuff into it. Yeah. And eventually it's going to be, good enough that we can call it 1.0, but I doubt there will ever be a day when I stop thinking, hey, wouldn't it be cool to add like some type of space monster?
Yeah, but at some point I think if you could tunnel into the space amoeba and crawl around in his innards. But anyway, at some point I would think like, okay, that's enough with one.
Woo.
And then, maybe do some engine update or something, and then say, okay, now here's version 2. So, that's a separate purchase because we have to continue to keep this snowball rolling. So,
yeah, and if we do that, it'll probably be when we make some relatively significant upgrade to the engine mechanics, so that it's actually a different game, and because, I mean, we're basically 2.5, 3-person team. We don't like at a $20 price point. It should support us for a while is the hope, and we just want to keep adding content. And
that's cool. So, are you lined up for Steam Greenlight or any other distribution right now, or?
So, as you saw with the patcher, we kind of built our own distribution, which is what we did instead of working really, really, really hard to get onto all the various stores. We are in the Greenlight process, though. But aside from the fact that Azure is down right now, I'm pretty proud of the launcher that I built. Like, I think Are you gonna accept Amazon payments? Kickstarter accepts Amazon payments. I have an Amazon payment account that can accept money, so...
okay, because honestly, if I could... I have a few silos that I actually trust with my credit card, Steam is one and Amazon's the other, right? So I see these places that all have like PayPal and stuff or whatever, and it's just like I don't want my stuff out there, but I trust Amazon, right? Because they're like the biggest retailer online.
Sure.
So they got my stuff, and like Humble Bundle, I can buy stuff right through Amazon with that, right? So it's kind of like I'm just kind of mentioning that to people, you know, as they try to think of payment options, because it's like if you have a trusted payment processor that people are already invested in, then you know, go with it. But yeah, I mean, PayPal. It's like I see PayPal and eBay as like a single entity. You know, they coexist with each other. But yeah. But anyways, how have things been as far as like press attention and stuff? You know, I mean, you're here with us, but did anybody else approach you with the new Kickstarter, or have you had attention since the first one, or what? Or is
So it got kind of quiet after the first one, right? So we had a bunch of press attention, and then the Kickstarter sort of went downhill, and it sort of got quiet for a while, and it was, you know, kind of bad. And then I started getting really frustrated with the project, and but then through the Kickstarter, I met this guy Jan, who I'm working with for art, and you're looking at his art right now, so you can see that he kind of won me over with the quality of his artwork. He from the beginning was like, let's like rebrand and restart and make it look amazing. I'm like, oh, okay, and you know, the more and more we did it, the more I got into it.
Yeah. Cool.
And the press attention for the new one has been much better. You know, people like it. Like
what was the arc like for that? I mean, it's like before the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Were you able to approach, you know, like what was it, like indie blog places, or did like the AA, AAA blogs actually pick it up, or was it the Kickstarter that actually opened the door?
It was mostly, you know, sending emails to people and being ignored for the most part. And once you're on Kickstarter, some people start talking about you, but some news sites still don't want to talk about a Kickstarter. And you know, there is a little bit of indie Illuminati backdoor. Like we only do articles for people that we're actually friends with. Like I've talked.
Really?
Oh, wait a minute! Come on, there's none of that.
Right.
Journalism. My God, what are you, part of that thing that we can't mention? Yeah, don't worry. So am I.
I had I had a conversation with a guy who shall not be named, who worked for who wrote articles for Kotaku, and his profession was he would make Kickstarter successful. Like you give him a rev share, and he talks to his buddies, and the news covers you.
Huh.
Wow. Say it isn't so.
I mean, and I was like, it was a frustrating conversation for me because I had failed a Kickstarter, and I go in the channel and I'm like, man, Kickstarters are hard, and he kind of laughed at me. I'm like, why don't you think they're hard? He's like, they're so easy. That was, anyways.
Yeah, let me open the door for you.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's I'll talk to you later about that. So we'll take that off air.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm kind of at the point, you know, struggling with whenever we have people on, and especially if they're not doing a Kickstarter, right? Because the Kickstarter is kind of like a lightning rod for attention, because it's prominent, it's there, and you show, you know, people are throwing money at it, and they can talk about how much money a day, and you know, are you going to make it or are you not? It's some drama and that kind of stuff. But it's like, if you have a game that you're just quietly working on and self-funding and stuff, that kind of puts you at a disadvantage, I would think.
Yeah, you're basically invisible.
Yeah. So it's like, should I start a Kickstarter for $1? And, you know.
I have seen Kickstarter projects for, you know, projects that looked AAA, like they didn't even need Kickstarter. And you look at them and you're like, why is this on Kickstarter? Is this just for advertising? And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people were using Kickstarter just as an advertising platform.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I absolutely guarantee it.
Your new Kickstarter is going so much better than the last one, though.
Yeah, it's going pretty well, but I mean, the game looks twice
you know why?
as
'Cause
amazing.
you wrote that check to Kotaku. That's why.
They haven't covered me yet. Not that I know of. I want my money back. So, but, yeah, no, the new Kickstarter is going very well, and I blame the awesome trailer for that. So,
Yeah,
The trailer is pretty badass. I'll tell you that much. That's nice.
Did you watch toward all the way to the end where there's extra explosions? Some people miss it.
Maybe I didn't.
I think
There's
I missed
extra explosions.
Yes, there's
Wait.
extra explosions at the end.
I have to fast forward to the Michael Bay moment. Michael Bay is about to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm there.
All right, so with the actual single-player game itself, is your goal just survival? Is it territory control?
Your goal is to get to a planet. It is to land a ship on a planet, and since
Like a
there's
particular planet.
a specific planet, which is the one of the NPC factions in the game is specifically set there to defend the planet. So you're gonna have to fight your way past a lot of stuff, and there's a series of objectives you're gonna have to complete before you'll be able to get there. These sort of basically we're gonna position stations that are like listening posts that'll see you coming, and you're gonna have to disable them one at a time in order to get to sort of this end zone. But it really is meant to be very open, like exploration-based gameplay. And even after you land the ship on the planet, you're not landing yourself on the planet. You're landing sort of this AI guide on the planet. And so even once you've completed the main objective, the world is still going to be open to explore and sort of unlock all of the, upgrades and stuff. And you didn't even look at the farming minigame. There's a whole farming minigame.
I toyed with that a little bit earlier.
It's not the prettiest thing right now.
Let's take a look at that, if I can get out of this. Oh, oh.
Well, it's better to explode first.
There we go. Okay, so resume game. Come on, buddy. Don't crash on me again. Okay.
Oh, well, if you're planning to launch any more drill bores at spaceships, I've already uploaded a patch that will make that not crash.
Oh, cool. So, it sounds like, you're uploading patches as we're talking. Like, is it easy? Is it that easy to develop on this? Or are you that much of an XNA guru or something?
Something like that. So the launcher is it's built on Windows Azure, which is down right now. So I don't know if I'm bragging about it or not, but it did allow me to make some really, really easy tools for automatic distribution. Like we have the whole store set up so that all the roles are based on which products you buy. So our launcher, our authenticator knows what copy of the game you have, and when it goes live, you'll just put your password in and it'll put it on your computer, right? And then I have a tool on my computer. I make a new build, I push a button, and it goes live to everyone who owns it.
Oh, wow.
So
Did you build that tool, or is that part of XNA?
I did. I during the first Kickstarter, one of the questions was, how are you going to distribute it? And my answer was, I plan to build a tool. And it sounded like something that would be probably really hard for one person to do by himself. And I don't think a lot of people, I don't want to say they didn't believe me, but like I couldn't back it up, so I didn't sort of advertise it, right? Mm-hmm. But now I've built it and it's working, and so that's how it's going. That's the main way it's going to be distributed, at least if you buy direct from us. And yeah, I built it.
Nice. Man, this thing is stuttery.
Yeah, so the insides of ships, we're writing a shader that'll handle that, but since it's tile-based, if you have a really ridiculously large monitor, it does run kind of at slow frame rates.
My monitor isn't. It's like a 27-inch. Is that ridiculously huge?
Well, you're running it at 1080p and streaming, so that'll probably make it angry. But when you get to the farm screen, it's not rendering all those tiles. It looks like a simple game, but the problem is that it's almost a voxel. Like all of those are destructible and modifiable, and it's just there's a lot going on under the scenes. Here's what I liken it to. You know how Dwarf Fortress is just ASCII art, but it runs at terrible frames per second?
Does it?
Yeah.
I tried playing it once and I ran away screaming.
Oh, I love Dwarf Fortress.
It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying.
I know, but I love it. It's so great once you learn how it works.
I mean, I've watched videos of Daz play. You know Daz 24680. He's a YouTuber. He does amazing videos. He's an Australian fellow, and he's done a series of playing Dwarf Fortress. So I've watched his videos. He's smarter than me. I'm just gonna say that. That game looks terrifying.
It simulates everything. Like, you know, it does pressure fluid simulations for the water where it'll go up a U-bend, right? So, you know, people often flood their fortress by making, you know, they think, oh, I want to have an underground well. So they dig a hole down from the bottom of their fortress, and then they dig a hole over to the side, and then they dig up from there until they get to the bottom of like a river or something. But, you know, if you do that in real life, gravity pushes it down the pipe and it comes right back up until it hits the same level as it was at before. Right. So people don't expect the fluid calculation to be that complex, and it ends up flooding their whole fortress. It's kind of like something that everyone does the first time they really get into a Dwarf Fortress game. And
yeah, I think my game has crashed.
Go download the new version.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I actually have to go to the task manager and kill it. Come on, buddy. Oh my God, what's happening? Okay. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. Die. There it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a new version you want me to download already?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've been working on that as you've been talking? Is that?
It was relatively simple to find. Yeah. I just dug into it. I have my IDE open right now, so why not?
My God. Yeah, it just downloaded it and installed it in like 2 seconds. That's really nice. It just does that. That's pretty great. Okay, so let's hit play again.
The project is this early and this buggy. It really helps to have fast iteration.
I'll keep it windowed this time so it doesn't get angry with me. Let's resume the game because I wanted to try that farming thing. Oh, there we go. Now it's running so much better. So yeah, folks, if you're just listening to the audio version, I apologize because I've been playing this as we've been talking. So you might miss stuff. I apologize for that, but this is pretty engaging because even this early version, there's a good amount of stuff to do. You just want to build and shoot shit. But there's also mining and farming. Let's take a look at this farming thing. So farm, plant, what? Okay, plant seed.
Oh, you don't. Okay, you have to go over to that. Go to the leftmost. Oh wait, no. Go back to the cargo bay.
Did you say plant seed?
Yeah. Oh, is that what the text is still?
I'm just wondering if you can go around and like fertilize the asteroids with your wiener ship.
No. Well, you can, in a sense, fertilize the asteroids, but not with a wiener ship. If you go to that cargo bay, there's some spores in there. I think I programmed.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. Yes. Crystal spore. Yes.
But you see how there's kind of like there's only 4 little farm plot tiles there.
It crashed.
What are you?
Sorry, man. Pre-alpha, people. Pre-alpha, pre-funding. It's gonna happen. Just let it happen. I mean, this is one of the reasons we do this podcast is because love to see the sauce, how the sausage is made. Love it. So I don't mind crashes, man. It's part of the whole thing. I mean, we have never gotten this level of access before in gaming history. Like back in the back in the 90s, you would have had to be a member of the gaming press or an investor to get the kind of access we're getting now. You know, it's pretty goddamn amazing. So I love it. I want to see how this house is. Some people don't. Some people are like, no, I don't want to.
I would say we've never had anybody cook us a patch while we were on the show.
You know what?
Before.
That is a first. That is a first.
Maybe I'll do it again.
Yeah, you need a mechanical keyboard so we can actually hear that patch in progress, banging away on the.
Okay.
So what kind of keyboard do you have?
Oh, I just standard Dynex. I think it's nothing special. It doesn't blow.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
it's a fairly generic brand.
Yeah, it's
okay,
like the
so what you need to do, you need to go to Unicomp. It's
yeah.
right.
Oh.
And get you a reproduction Model M. And
they call them something different now.
PCKeyboards.com.
The really really loud one.
Oh yeah, the buckling.
Do you hear me typing right now? That's that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. PCKeyboard.com.
PC
And
keyboard.
they're reasonable. Like you can buy a brand new thing from them cheaper than you can get like a reconditioned Model M off eBay.
Yeah, I got the Mac one. It was about $100, but that's made specially for a Mac.
Is it like especially loud?
Oh yeah, you don't hear me typing?
Loud.
That's me typing. I love this keyboard, and I have an actual Model M. I have the old school, Model M. But yeah, this is a first. We have never had someone patch a game while we're talking about it on the podcast. So well done, man. That's amazing.
I thought this was a debugging podcast. I thought that's what I was here for. You're helping me. You're helping me with my process.
You know what? If that's how you want to look at it, that's great. We're helping you with the process. We're helping people find your game. I mean, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for everyone.
Right, and if you could pay us, we would make your Kickstarter succeed.
Oh, stop it.
So, I'm thinking, alpha testing and such. Are you gonna let the backers do that, or are you recruiting testers before you actually hand that out to them, or is that like a separate crew, or what's the deal?
The version that you're playing with now is something that I've only given to like friends and family and people who are actually on the development team.
Oh shit, we're family now.
Yeah, you basically family.
Oh.
So what are you doing next week, like around Thanksgiving?
I think I'm going to the Valley.
Oh.
Which valley?
The Central Valley, California Central Valley.
Oh. See, down here in Los Angeles, when you say the valley, it has a completely different meaning.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, it's funny. I just moved to the South Bay, and when I say that to a Northern Californian, they think, across the Bay Bridge, blah, blah, blah. So when I said I was moving to the South Bay, all my San Francisco friends were like, oh my God, you're moving up here? No. I'm sorry. California's weird. It's very weird. Are you a native?
Yes, I'm a native California.
Nice. I don't meet a lot of native Californians, honestly.
Yeah, I'm actually like third or fourth generation Californian.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to think. Let's see. Yeah, dad's grandparents, whatever that means. Whichever one that is, I believe that's how many.
So, third generation, I guess that is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this farming thing, hang on. So I got the spore, and I farm, and then I plant the seed. And then, I'm sorry, I'm 12 years old mentally. and then what? I wait? Do I wait while they grow?
Yeah, it's not an overly interactive task at the moment, but the idea is that those will just slowly grow, and they'll grow while you're out at the station having adventures, and they'll grow. It always grows. And if you go out into the world, like when you're mining asteroids or blowing up ships and checking their cargo bays to see what's in them, you'll find like stuff that can sort of improve how fast it grows and how efficiently it grows and how much you get when you harvest it. And another thing that you'll find if you dock with an asteroid with your drill bore that you love so much, every now and then you'll find these little things buried in the asteroids, which are these, I call them neutralino shards, but it's just this, it's basically, it's like fertilizer if you want to, that you can go down and you can lay another farm plot. And so, over time you can increase the size of your farm plot.
Oh.
And since the crystals will sort of spread across the plots, although they might be sort of buried deep in the asteroid.
Oh, very nice.
Let's see. Yeah, you don't have to put that item in your hands to use it.
Okay.
But it shouldn't crash the game if you do. And so I've now fixed that.
Oh my god. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's really impressive, man. Because I mean, if you're just patching now, imagine what you could do once the Kickstarter's done.
Yeah, well, we're going to use the same system to add content. I told you before the stream that I was trying to get it debugged so that it would stop corrupting save files, and I've gotten it to stop corrupting save files, or at least I'm like 99% certain that I have. But now that that's true, we have a system for the save files that's going to let us like add content without needing to force people to reset their save file every single time. So like once the game's actually going, we can add new stuff to the universe and not force people to restart the game, or at least that's the hope. But yeah, in terms of like finding and destroying bugs quickly, what can I say? I like a target-rich environment.
I keep doing this. I like put the thing on the asteroid, and then I dock. I'm like, oh, I forgot my mining gun. Like I got to go back and redock and get my mining gun. It's pretty funny, actually. I do love this docking mechanic, how like crazy manual it is. This is more crazy than like Elite. That's how crazy this is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dude. Oh. I don't know if that's going to work. Anyway. Yeah, so I like how manual this is. But now, let me ask you something. If you don't want to do something yourself, like you don't want to design ships or you don't want to farm or whatever, can you hire people to do that for you, maybe?
You don't have to play the farming minigame. Like, all of the content will be available without it.
That's just an extra thing if you want to do it.
Well, so spawning ships and researching things requires, you can see that station energy level everything over there.
Yeah.
The idea is that your station has this like matter furnace that converts matter into energy, and then it can convert energy back into matter for when you want to like build a ship. And what that means is, you just have to like find stuff and throw it in the furnace, and that's why like digging for ore is useful. But the crystal farming sort of mini game, if you go and you find all of the recipes for it, you can eventually kind of get to the point where the crystals will grow fast enough to sort of sustain your energy needs because you can throw them in the furnace.
Oh wow!
And so it's like a progression system to make resource gathering easier. Really, is just the idea that as you slowly upgrade your farm, eventually you won't need to go out and mine for sort of the lame ore anymore because you've got better options.
What if I don't want to mine at all? What if I just want to go around and shoot shit?
Well, I guess if all you want to do is shoot shit, then you don't even have to pay for the game because you can do that in the ship editor that's out there now.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
That being said, there is, if you shoot enemy ships and then board their ships, they have stuff in their cargo bay that you can just take that can A, be thrown into the furnace, and B, is valuable. I mean, like, you can pretty much live off of space piracy if you want to.
Ooh. That's pretty great. Okay, now I have a mining laser. And I just love how all of this is procedurally generated, so even the inside of this asteroid.
Yeah, some things are more procedural. So we use a mix of both procedural and like handmade generation.
Right.
When I say the interior of a ship is procedurally generated, the asteroid totally procedurally generated, like the interior of it. But also the asteroids themselves, for the most part, are procedurally generated. But we're making a map-making utility, and to some extent we already can do it. We can just put things anywhere we want in the world that you'll see, and we can also manually map the interiors of whatever we want and just put it into the world. To some extent, the ship editor that's out there for free is pretty much the tool that we are, like, it's going to evolve into the tool that we use to make the world. So, and you can already do this where, like I said, you make a ship profile that it's a file in that profiles directory. You just load it up and it's in the game. You can edit it in the in-game editor, but you can also, using the delete key, spawn any ship that you have a profile for into the world. With however many crew members in it as you've selected in that profile, right? So like if you want to spawn an enemy ship of your own design, you just create the ship, decide how many crew are in it, and you can spawn it that way, and then fight it, for instance. But that's also going to be our map making utility, right? Like, because pretty much every object in the world is secretly under the hood is just a ship, and so everything inside of a ship is just a module. Even technically under the hood, stuff like dirt and ore is represented as a module. Like, there's no difference as far as the game engine is concerned. So we can use it to make dungeons and space stations and whatever we want.
That's pretty awesome.
So if you look around, maybe you'll see buried one of the little crystal-y shard things. Oh, have you already gone to your ship? I want a delay. Yeah.
Oh, I can go back. Hang on. Now, I was going to ask, on these asteroids, can you, like, find space creatures and stuff like that that'll attack you, for example?
They aren't in yet, but that's very high on my list of things to do.
Like Minox from Empire Strikes Back, for example?
Well, I mean, it's a game where you're, running around inside a spaceship with a laser. There's got to be little monsters that come after you at some point.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so I'm back in the asteroid, and I found a bunch of dirt and a bunch of lead so far. That's all I found.
I think there's a debugging command. I don't know if I disabled it, but when you're in the asteroid, try pushing V.
V? That changes the view.
Yeah, will it let you move with the mouse and sort of look around the asteroid?
Yeah.
So, do you see anything that looks like a little purple crystal-y thingy? There honestly might not be one, because there's only a chance for it to show up in an asteroid.
Doesn't look like it. Should I try another asteroid?
Yeah, maybe you'll have to try another asteroid.
Okey-doke. Yeah, I'm not seeing one.
But honestly, it doesn't. It's not that exciting at the moment. You want to explode stuff, but basically, you'll sometimes find these little crystal shards buried in asteroids. And there's going to be a lot of stuff sort of buried in asteroids for you to find. That's sort of just like the first one that we've added at this point in development. And what that one does is it lets you place another farm plot. And which is useful because the little crystal thingies, as they grow, they'll spread to nearby tiles. So sort of having more space just gives you more farm.
Cool. Just crashed again. I just tried to shoot another drill thing, and just crashed again.
How did you do that?
I don't know. I had the cursor over the asteroid, like I'm supposed to, and is there another patch? Let me check if you put out another patch already.
Not yet.
No, you didn't. Okay, but
I'll put out another patch when I figure out what you just did.
Oh, I don't know what I just did. I just tried to shoot another drill thing into a completely separate asteroid, and. So, yeah, folks, this is a very technical podcast where we're debugging and talking at the same time. It's kind of fascinating, actually, at least for me. I hope it's interesting for you guys.
It's like, welcome to the sausage factory. This is what QA is like.
Yep.
So.
Kind of, sort of. But this is how a lot...
it basically is, right? So
this is how a lot of people get... QA is how a lot of people get into this sort of thing.
Yeah, see, I just do this with the customer on the phone. And then and then I'm like... sending reports over to engineering and doing my thing, right? So, yeah.
Right.
But it's essentially, yeah, like, fill out bug reports all day.
So George, have you been making games? Like, how long have you been making games? Like, this is not, obviously not your first rodeo. So,
Yeah, it's all through college I was making games, usually spaceship games.
yay!
I made probably 3 or 4 different prototypes, and pretty much all the ideas that I worked on or made sort of went into this game. So like I had one game that I tried to make was sort of like a crystal farming game, and so you can see what happened with that. And my very, very first game was inspired by games like Escape Velocity, where it was like a 2D top-down spaceship game.
Nice.
So you can see where I went with that.
Right.
And another one of the other games that I tried to make was sort of a multiplayer role-playing game that had like this really complicated skill system where skills were sort of defined in a way that allowed you to just define them with data, and they could do arbitrary things even with the netcode. And pretty much all of these projects were like, start the project, try to set out to accomplish a specific thing, and then accomplish it, and then try to turn it into a game and find out that you didn't really ever have a plan for a whole game, and so it's not going to work. Right? So I think Wayward Terran Frontier is the first time where I sat down and I'm like, okay, we're making a plan for a whole game, and we're gonna, start from the beginning and not just do the little tiny piece of it.
Right. And how long have you been working on this thing?
Oh, a couple of years.
Oh wow.
It was a hobby for a very long time, which is why whenever someone asks me how long I was working on it for, I mean, like, it's hard, like, where do I start counting? Because I had a full-time job and I was just fiddling with code. I took some of the ideas from past projects that were at this point like 8 years ago. So
Wow.
parts of it have been in the mix for a very long time.
Oh wow. That's awesome. Have you done any professional game development before this?
No.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That is impressive. So this will look very good on a resume, if nothing else. Hey, I found a purple thing.
Hey, there you go.
What do I do with it?
So I have an idea for the end game that just came to me. So you said you have to go and land on this planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if on that planet there was like a princess that you had to rescue, but when you get there, then it says, "Oh, I'm sorry, our princess is on another planet," and then the game just starts all over again.
That's cold, man. That's cold.
It's a surprise. I can't tell you what's going to happen when you land the ship on the planet. That would totally ruin the whole story, but it
You're gonna see the Statue of Liberty. Damn dirty apes.
Oh my god, I watched that last night. By the way.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. Not the original, the new one.
How is the new one? The new one? Not the one with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg. Not the one with Mark Wahlberg, but the
Oh,
new
no,
one.
Not Mark of the Apes. No, the new Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Was that good?
Interesting. It's like, it's good. Like, give me 6 months, I could probably go back and watch it again and maybe get something else from it. There's a lot of kind of heavy-handed messaging that's there. That is kind of I would say that the apes are treated a lot like American Indians, right? In a not in the reality sense, but in the sense of somebody that watched a lot of westerns growing up and then wrote this movie. So I mean to the point where like all the apes ride up on their horses, right? And there's like a whole just like as far as you can see, right? It's like the tribe is there, and then the humans are in their fort, which is very much like a frontier fort from the old west, right?
Oh.
And and then the humans are forced to expand, right? Because their societal pressures, because they require, their technology and whatnot, and the apes are just kind of happy and at one with nature and doing their thing, right? They even have like a deer hunt and stuff at the beginning. It's very much like if they'd been on the plains, they'd be hunting buffalo, right? I mean, it was just like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it, guys, really. And but then they have it's that ape kind of way that they talk, right? So they kind of have language, but they speak very simply, which is kind of like a cowboy movie, right? So it's like the Indians are there and they're like, white man must not come, right? And so it's kind of like that. And then there's the one ape that doesn't want peace, right? He just thinks that, hey, we need to push these invaders out. So he wants to start a war, and then the chief, which is Caesar from the first movie, wants to preserve peace because he understands people, and he's like kind of like, well, they need this, so let's let them, right? But I don't want to wreck the whole thing, but it was interesting, right? Like once I got past that thing, I was like, okay, this is like either they're trying to send a message about that, or they just watched a lot of westerns as a kid and thought, yeah, we'll do this movie that way, right? But it was like beat for beat a western like that. So
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, it was neat. And it has a very dark ending, like super dark, and I was proud of it for that.
Nice.
So yeah. And we watched Lucy as well. Have you seen Lucy, either of you?
Nope.
Okay. Have you seen Akira?
Oh yeah.
You've seen Lucy.
Oh, okay.
Lucy is like beat for beat Akira, except no giant teddy bear. But seriously, I mean, at the end of the movie, she has evolved to the point where she's like turned into how you remember how Akira at the end, he just became like this pile of flesh that was spreading out like tentacles and whatever, and it's basically at the end of the movie she's kind of like that, where she's like expanding out and filling the whole building and eating the computers and stuff, like sucking in all the information. And I was just like, oh my god, it's Akira. There was a scene, she's in a hallway, right, and there's guys and they pull guns on her, and she like smashes a dude through the wall with her mind, and and my wife's sitting there, and like when we first started dating, one of the very first movies that I had on was Akira. It was just like, it was the anime test. It was like, let's see, I know she plays video games, let's see if she can take a hardcore for real anime. And I stuck that in, and she dug it, right? So I kind of look over at her, and we just had that mutual silent thought, like, yeah, this is fucking Akira. What? So yeah, it was interesting because she didn't quite remember the movie, but she's like, hey, this is like that thing with the.
We've
like,
seen
yes,
this before.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to check that out then. Oh, you are bad at drill bores.
I know. I didn't know it was going to land in a spot I couldn't dock at. That's just weird.
Yeah, it's just like real life space mining. You gotta line up your shots, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, real life space mining. Okay, Billy Bob. I'll be your Bruce Willis.
So we're like an hour and a half into this, so we should.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're having a lot of fun.
I am, guys. This is a fun game, and the Kickstarter is, you got what, 20 some days left, right? Something like that.
Yeah, more. We have, I've lost count. We have 24 days left.
That's awesome, and it's kicking butt. It really is, like lots of butt. So, George, thank you so much for coming on and using me as part of your QA team. I appreciate it, and we'll continue it after this podcast. because I could see that this game is going to be a lot of fun. Seriously, folks, this is a good time. I mean, just the fact that you could dock at a station, get out and run around the station and do shit, and then get back in your ship, run around your ship, and then fly around your ship, and then dock with another ship and run around that. It's kind of like, what was that game?
Can you ship your pants?
I shipped my bed.
There's some parodies of those cars.
There are not. How could you parody that? It's too perfect.
Oh,
How could you parody that?
God. Dude, some of it I can't even say on the air while we're being recorded. It's funny.
Wow.
Oh, it's rude, but it's funny.
Well, folks, I'm gonna put a link in the YouTube and everything, in the post to the Kickstarter. But check it out. This game is looking great. It's going to be single player only, which I love. Thank you very much, because I'm not a multiplayer person very much. But it's looking like a very cool, realistic physics. Because I did notice that I was flying a tiny ship earlier, and it maneuvered a lot better than the larger ship. So I dug that. So there is some realistic physics going on here. And there's lots of dying. There's the stupidest ways you could die, which is hilarious. And
big ships being cut into little pieces by beam weapons.
And yeah, big ships being sliced into pieces and slicing holes in them. I don't know if you saw in one of the earlier made up. I don't know if this does it. Yeah, look at that. It works here too. But yeah, these ships can slice holes into each other. So that's Wayward Terran.
So when you're taking hits, if you switch back to the interior view of the ship, you'll actually have like components that get blown out, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you have to dock and replace them.
So there's the capacitors that hold energy, and if those get shot up, they start little fires, and you have to go put out the fires. The reactors, they explode, like just straight up. You don't want to be standing near them because they'll just take you out. So you're getting hull breaches.
Could I make a ship that's just all reactors?
There's a
and then an engine on the back, and like fly it at an enemy base and bail out.
In the trailer, when we do the thing where the little ship flies in and shoots the letter, I think it was the letter D, and then the letter D explodes. We did that. Like we just made a ship that was reactors, and we shot it. It was a ship that was shaped like the letter D.
Yeah, Jim, I don't know if you could see it on the stream, but the ship I'm in, I'm just walking around it as it's getting shot. The oxygen is gone. Parts of it are on fire. Pieces of it are being blown away around me. And it just sounds super chaotic, and my guy just died because the life support got shot out.
They shot you in the D?
Yeah, they shot me in the LF, LS. So yeah, that was pretty fascinating watching from inside the ship how your ship just slowly got whittled away. That was pretty fascinating.
It was fascinating how many wiener jokes I got to make tonight.
And kind of terrifying. You know what? Should that be a thing you try for every show? See how many wiener jokes you can fit in?
Like you and the F-bombs, no.
We try to avoid it as much as we can because it's literally the first. It was our first realization. It was the first ship that anyone ever drew on my engine because it was the first thing I did. Let's make an engine that uses a sprite and procedurally turns it into a ship that you can enter. And then I give it to a friend. First thing he did, I can draw a penis. Like, so now it's like,
and that's exactly why I make that joke, man. Because everybody got Minecraft, and what was the first thing?
Yeah.
Like giant monolith of. Yeah.
You got to get that shit out. You just gotta, get it out.
If Arthur C. Clarke had just made that like a giant space wiener instead of a monolith, it wouldn't have been. Well, it might have been more intimidating. It would have been scary as hell.
The music would have been
go to the moon and like unearth a giant phallus, like an obsidian phallus from
now I really have to watch
millennia
this
ago.
The music would have been much more fitting for that.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot more appropriate. Would have been a lot more appropriate. Wait, George, have you not seen 2001?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Okay, because you were like, "Oh, I got to see that now," and I was like,
I thought, what?
I was like, wait a minute.
I thought we were still talking about the monkey movie.
"Oh no."
No, I do need to see that though. But folks, yeah, we've been talking a while, so we're gonna let you go because everyone's tired. But
fart jokes.
So next week, guys, if you're listening to this, we have a topic. We're going to be talking about tropes in space games,
I thought you said popes. I
No.
was like space pope.
I think that would only be one game, and Emperor of the Fading Suns, and we probably could make a podcast just about that game, but that's actually a good idea. I'm going to write that down. But yeah, next week we're going to talk about tropes in space gaming, like why are all the space games World War II in space, and why is every hero cryogenically frozen for 100 years before the universe needs them? You know, that kind of shit. So, so if you have an idea for a trope that you'd like us to talk about, please hit us up at either hail@spacegamejunkie.com or in the comments, or I'm going to be also making a post to solicit your thoughts. But, George, I want to thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun and very educational, because we've never had a programmer on that's been that, like, active in their programming while we're talking.
Hey, it was helpful. I just fixed 2 more bugs. As soon as we're off this stream, I'm going to upload another one, so...
Oh dear, that's amazing, guys. That's amazing. So yeah, the game is Wayward Terran Frontier, Dark Falls, right? Zero Falls. All I see in the
stop patching.
all I see is Wayward Terran
Machine.
Frontier. Yeah, it's a serious patch machine. But yeah, folks, it's currently in Kickstarter, so go check it out. It is worth your time and money, because I'm really enjoying it, and I think a lot of you would too. And until next week, if you have any questions or comments besides what I just said, hit us up at hail@spacegamejunkie.com. And thank you so much for listening. As always, we love you guys. We love every one of our listeners. So have a great week, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.